Mic check 1 2. We're recording. Anyway, what's up, y'all? It's your boy, Mr. Nice Guy, otherwise known as Catman. Just wanted to I put up my mission statement yesterday. I maybe just wanted to do a real quick one in a nutshell because I do realize that the attention span of the average American is being shortened. Do you know how I know this? Because it's happening to me too. So I'm not like pointing my finger, you guys are getting done. No, it's happening to all of us. That's how I know it's being done. Anyway, my mission statement. What is it that I'm trying to do? Cliche as it may sound, I'm trying to save the world. I don't have a bunch of money. Wouldn't it be nice if you could give to a corporation, a non-for-profit, and know that your money was going to help the things that need the help? Not going to overhead, not going to salaries, not going to some offshore account or whatever. I don't know. I say this because, as I've told you guys many times, I've been chronically homeless off and on for the past over a decade. Never have I gone to a place and gotten any help. You know, I've gone to many places. When you're first getting ready to be, you know what, I'm kind of dragging this out, but when you're first getting ready to be homeless, it's a scary thing. So you go to the place and, you know, you're trying to get help, whatever, and they do your little file, whatever, and then they close it. Okay, well, we'll get a hold of you. And I'm like, yeah, what do I do? Where do I go? I don't have anywhere to see. Where am I going to go tonight? And they kind of give me a shrug of the shoulders. Most recently here, I have been trying to help the animals, like I've told you guys. And I have contacted, I'm not going to name the names of them, but just a bunch of different non-for-profit charities, and I get a shrug of the shoulders. I get no help. I'm going to assume there's a little bit of corruption going on there. You know, we know what's going on with big business. I'm going to assume anywhere where there's just a smidgen of money, there's huge corruption. So I've chosen to stand myself and hold my own sign and ask for whatever it is that I'm going to ask for. And somehow that's deemed illegal. Gee, that's kind of coincidental. I wonder who came up with that idea. Possibly those that are corrupt and in on it. This is time for us to get up and stand up for our rights. What am I doing? I had a little cooler that I had for cats to get in. I'm obtaining little different shelters I can clean and have ready for them. My goal is by the winter time to have some place for them to go and not freeze to death. My goal was to already have all this stuff done. I just didn't realize how much backlash and fighting that people were going to do. But the problem is where I'm going to beg is a very, very rich area, and they don't like the cut of my jib. They don't like the way I look, and regardless of the Constitution that allows me to peaceably assemble anywhere that I want and communicate and worship religiously however I choose, despite my First Amendment rights, they have sought to hinder this. And by sought to hinder this, I mean they arrest me and ticket me and harass me. They stole my crucifix stick. I got another one, you know, but the other one was my favorite. Between the parapolice, or, you know what, let me not even name names. The police stole my stick with my crucifix on. I don't know. I hope whoever stole it, like I said before, I hope whoever stole it took it home, kneeled to it, worshipped it, and changed their ways. I'm going to guess they threw it in the trash can. You know what? You guys can take that up with the big guy. I'm here to say that's what I'm trying to do on a smaller scale. On a larger scale, I would like to do big things. I would like to help those in Uganda. I would like to help those and the beasts of no nation. I was at a church and they had something about an African cause, and I just remember I'm always talking about these causes because there's so much misery going on over there. I'm talking about literal hell. Also, you can go to some Asian countries, you can go to down in Mexico, Guatemala. There's hell going on there. There's a whole thing you can get on the internet and just go watch video after video after video of atrocity. I'm not gonna promote that, but I went and took and gave every last penny I had into this thing because I figured I'd be a hypocrite for not, so I did it. I couldn't afford to do it at the time, but still I felt good having done it. I hope that this isn't a non-for-profit like a lot of these other non-for-profits that are just taking my money and funneling it off somewhere. I have no way of knowing. But we need to get curious and find out. We need to snuff this out. We need to actively do something. The only time that evil and corruption can win is when good men refuse to stand and do something about it. If you're just going to sit on your couch and scroll through and maybe leave a little comment here or there, you're doing nothing. And I understand. I'm not sitting here trying to point fingers and, condemn people. I understand you're busy. You have things that you have to do, this, that, or the other. Maybe find someone else who is doing something along that vein and maybe support them. Maybe, if not me, support somebody. I want to see something getting done, all the way down from the smallest to the least of us, stray cats and dogs and people, to higher and higher on the level of humaneness or whatever. We need help. I keep checking the time here because I don't want to ramble on. Other than that, on another side of the spectrum, the Bill of Rights is important. I said in the other video how you'd be surprised that the first gun control laws were actually implemented. Some of the first gun control laws were actually implemented by the NRA, but they were doing it against blacks, and they figured, look, we're not taking our Second Amendment freedoms away. We're just taking away their Second Amendment rights. By their, I mean them, the undesirables. We don't have to worry about it. And like I said, look, here we are now. One person's lifetime later, and they're getting their guns taken. So as you see them arresting me on the side of the road for exercising my free speech, which we have already been to a whole court proceeding, and the judge ruled in my favor, as would anybody with any common sense. They see that I'm peaceably assembling and communicating. But they don't like bums. They don't like me. They don't like what I understand that. But do you like your Bill of Rights? Do you like what I think is the cornerstone of any free society, which is the freedom of speech? Do you like that? I understand if you don't like bums. I understand if you don't like people of my skin tone or whatever. Are you really going to take the cornerstone of a free society? The only amendment that I hold almost sacred. I say almost because I don't put anything sacred before God. But like I said, they separated church and state, and I get that. So they're not living up to God's laws, obviously. They're not even willing to live up to their own laws. And by they, I mean anyone who is against my First Amendment right to stand, peaceably assemble, and say what I have to say. I understand if you hate bums and people like me. If you think we're so insignificant, are you really willing to throw away the First Amendment because you hate us? And again, you're going to laugh. I'm not throwing away my First Amendment. I'm just taking away yours. I just got to hang my head and I got to hang my head in shame and just shake my head at the ignorance of the ability of people to forget so quickly. And then I guess it comes around full circle to short attention spans, short lifespans, what have you. Get up and stand up. Get up and stand up for your rights. Do not give up the fight. In order for us to get these fights, we had to fight a revolutionary war. In order for us, me and my people of the poorer ilk, we had to demonstrate and march and have civil rights protests and be bitten by dogs and arrested and etc., etc. I now have had my arm dislocated and broken. I got a floating bone on my right side of my shoulder from all the times they've forced me to put my very injured arm behind my back into handcuffs. And what was I getting at with this? I was going somewhere with it. Yeah, when you see them arresting me and taking away my First Amendment right, remember, it's just a matter of time before they come for yours. Maybe not next year. They'll probably be a little bit more subtle than that, but then again, maybe not. It only took them like a year and a half to start trying to make new unconstitutional laws to backpedal and undo the ruling that was already ruled in my favor. The same exact behavior, the same exact whatever. Again, the bias is against the undesirables, the people that we don't like. I'm just telling you, if history is any example of what will happen in the future, and I promise you it is, once they have that tool, that piece on the playing field, the ability to circumnavigate someone's freedom of speech, you will either use it against your political opponent, or your political opponent will either use it against you. There will be no gentleman's agreement that, no, we only do that to bums. We don't do it to each other. No, that's not how business works. That's not how greed and corruption works. Greed, corruption, rot, these things spread. These things, once let loose, we cannot control. You understand? It's a evil miasma let off into the atmosphere. If you think the rot of the ghetto, the rotten behavior, the activities, the victimization is just going to stay there, dude, it's only a 25-minute ride from your house on the highway. Some of you only 10 minutes. You know, the same buses that bring your servants out, by servants I mean the people that come to work every day. I've been on those same buses, either coming out going to work or coming out there to fly my sign. So I'm there with, you know, as bad as black people are portrayed on the internet, that's not what I saw. I seen dudes sitting there on the bus half asleep because it's so early, you know, they got their work shoes on, they got their work pants on. I seen nurses and their uniforms or whatnot, and we're up early, all, you know, getting ready to go to work. I don't see guys on there waving machine guns around. Now, I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but I'm saying the majority of us don't act that way, though we are perceived to act that way. I'm going off on a different subject here because I'm just trying to say, once you mark somebody an undesirable, maybe they'll act that way, or maybe it's just a lie. We'll get into statistics. We'll get into all that later on other videos. Yeah, I'm at the 13-minute mark. I don't want to dare go over 15 minutes. So what am I saying, man? Once you give up a right, ain't no one just going to give it back to you. You know, we fought a revolutionary war. We went to the civil rights marches. We did all this just to gain these rights. I'm not going to sit idly by and just give them away. Because like I said, once you give them away, they will not just be given back. You're going to have to actually fight to get them back. And to get them back, to recreate them, you're going to have to fight a bloody war. I say stand and fight now, and let's get this done without bloodshed. I do not desire war of any kind. War is hell on earth. How can we find a way to the moon, but not a way without war? Even though I get the irony of that, because honestly, the mission to the moon was just an experiment in ballistics to see Well, if we can put a rocket ship on the moon, we can put a nuclear bomb anywhere we want. It's ironic, but it was war that, I don't know, gave the inspiration for the science that created the rocket to the moon. But I'm saying that was then and this is now. We got to do better, people. We don't have much time, and it seems like we're regressing. And there's like, well, there's a 1% of us on this earth that is gaining from the rest of our demise, and it doesn't have to be that way. I don't know, man. It's your boy, Mr. Nice Guy. Peace out. Catch you next time.